Morning. How are you guys doing today? Let's see, did the live start? Today is a good day, bro. Let's see. Bro, why is my live not starting, bro? Okay, now it starts, okay. So, let's see, Friday. I do need to recover these. I'm gonna recover the breakdowns of these days. That's why they're not completed. But I'm gonna recover them in the weekend. So, let's start, bro. Let's see. We had a really good trade yesterday on DAX, guys. I didn't stream it. We had it in New York. I didn't stream, but I did record it. So if you want to see this trade, make sure you check it, because with this trade we were able to come from we were able to recover from a minus 7.8, minus 7.5 drawdown to a minus 4.3. Right, we made like 3% yesterday. So I'm gonna edit the video and make sure you check it out. Okay, so yeah, let's start with the XY. Let's kind of make order in our pairs. Okay, that's good. So let's start with DXY, because that's how we usually start, right? Let's eliminate this. Now this is looking pretty bearish, I ain't gonna lie. We do have this, but for me kind of looks bearish. Let's see on the 4-hour. We did inverse and we did react of this, and now we're closing back below this. So this might become drawn liquidity, with this overall being the last draw, this POI. Let me close my window, bro, because my neighbors are very workaholics, or how to say that shit. So 4-hour did indeed inverse. I just don't really see it as a long-term move. I'm not sure yet. That's what my intuition tells me. We might still be bullish. So let me delete some of these. So technically we did inverse, but the inverse is not that great. We did technically inverse, and now we are closing back below the 4-hour FG, which means bearish, at least towards that low, and next towards this count FG. I'm just not sure. It doesn't inspire a lot of confidence by the way it looks, right? It doesn't really inspire necessarily a lot of confidence. So this formation is pretty strong. I'm not gonna lie about that, but let's see. Let me remake this into a gray zone because it's too punchy. This is the inverse we had. This is basically like a breakaway gap. This is the strong high that we formed. So we did form a strong high. We do have a pretty valid market structure shift, with this being the inverse. I just don't know whether to trust it or not. For me, it's not really that clear here. What are we doing? So fractal high formed with really small inverse, which again signals at sells. But I'm not sure still what our bias is here. I'm actually not sure. Technically we're bearish, right? We just came off this consolidation, which means reaching back into these lows, but yeah, it doesn't inspire a lot of confidence. Maybe an Asian read of this new week opening gap, but I don't know if that's a valid trade. But we're just gonna keep going with let me delete some of this. Euro definitely looks bearish, which means the XY being Euro definitely looks bullish, which means Euro's being bearish. Let me delete this trade. I think there's no point in leaving it here. So yeah, this looks pretty decent. We had like an internal market structure shift. We rated this high basically, so I'm not yet that sure, but it does indeed give bullish signs. because we have one and second confluence to look for buys, for sells we have rate and this. So yeah, overall still weird. We'll see. I want a bit of clarity on my setups, but we'll see. Euro definitely looks bullish here. Looks bullish here. We reacted hard after reaching that 4-hour in discount. We made a gap higher, which validates bullish idea. The second confluence we need, but I'm not sure because we did indeed hit that high and we tapped the bearish FG, so it's kinda 2 versus 2 confluence. I don't know, for me this is kinda uncertain what we do exactly. This gap here, gaps here, not sure though, really not sure. Got too many gaps to be honest, not sure which one will hold, and it's risky. It's just a scenario I don't like. 250-50, but Asia rate does look good here, but we just are overextended, and but this overlaps with our gap, so we'll monitor, but I'm done really. This definitely looks a bit more bearish, at least showing towards this, so I just don't really like it's 250-50 here. Geo definitely still looks a bit more bearish, and we're in the process of inversion here. So if we want to sell, we definitely, this is inclined in our favor. It's just that we have a bit of resistance here. This order block looks like potentially gonna hold, but yeah, definitely better suited for sales. Dated the high, we tap that FG. Now we are in the process of inversion. We can look to target overall this, and look to target overall ideas in general, targeting that discount bullish FG. Target more for now. I don't know if I like this shit, to be honest. It's 50-50. We don't have confluence enough on both sides, if that makes sense, but yeah. Let's see AU here. I want to delete some of the drawings. Still looking bearish with objective navigation here. Yeah, not sure. If I don't have a clear read on the market, I'm most likely not gonna trade at least this pairs. Still bearish of that 4-hour. Yeah, we have one confluence, objective plus objective navigation, but it makes it riskier indeed. We need 1 hour gap to get printed here, but again, this is dangerous, right? Because we have this gap here, and this is happening on all USD pairs right now. They all have this bullish gap. Yeah, Euro's definitely the strongest, Geo the second strongest, and AU's the weakest out of them all. But I don't like that we have opposing PDRAs, so it's really like 50-50. I don't like trading in scenarios like this. I really don't like, because yeah, it's just weird. Again, now we need 1 hour gap to 1 hour gap to confirm direction and validate trade, but still we have that discount FG. I don't like this shit, bro. I don't like this. Let's see DAX. We had those crazy trades yesterday, but apparently our targeting was really good here, because we ended up reversing. We could have targeted a bit more, at least with the runner, but yeah, I don't know if it's still bearish, because it's kind of reacting. Still weird. Again, weird. I don't, by the looks of it, I don't know if I'm gonna trade today. It's just 250-50. Maybe for New York, yes. When New York is gonna confirm a bit more where are we headed, that's when I'm gonna trade. If price lacks structure, we need to wait for structure, like wait for next session. you're still like confused, we are forming 4-hour gap, but not looking long term. It's just confusion. When I'm confused, when I cannot read the market, when the direction is not clear, when the confluences are not clear, I just prefer not trading. And this is also, I'm not even gonna make an analysis for this. Like, at least UK is looking pretty good on being bearish and continuation lower. So yeah, but yeah, it's a lot of resistance around these lows. So what I would target is probably this wicks here. God damn, this price is choppy as hell lately. So where's UK? Probably UK is the cleanest for today. Like, see, this is one-sided. The only bullish confluence we have is taking these lows, but it doesn't really matter. But Euro, it's like 50-50. Are we bearish? Because we rated this high, we tapped this FVG. Two confluences for being bearish and for bullish, FVG and FVG. So it's 2 versus 2 confluences. It's very 50-50. So you don't want to trade. I don't, at least want to trade in scenarios like this. When I want to trade in one-sided price action like we had yesterday on DAX, when it was so clear on being bearish lower, but like this, probably UK is the decent pair for today that we can look at. We already rated this high. This is a good rate on liquidity, but again, look bro, even this, man, like look at this, it has opposing structure. Like, you don't want to see opposing PD rays when you trade, because this, you can target this, yes, but then it's too ugly, and we do have this, which will be our confluence. Yeah, a massive wick here. Good. Reverse the form direction, but again opposing structure. Yeah. Let's see gold. It's kind of clear on being bearish, at least towards this low maybe, but gold in London, hell nah, bruh. Gap to gap is very similar to DAX that we had yesterday when we traded. Gap to gap on towards reaching towards the low. I don't think necessarily this zone is relevant, but this, I'm not sure. Like, this again hard to read, but should be again heading lower on gold. Should be pretty clear heading lower. It's just that yeah, don't really like trading gold in London. Not really a great choice most of the time. Sometimes it works, but not really a great choice. Gap to gap, very similar to DAX. I'm looking to target that low, but it's, yeah, Asia looks weird, bro. Today not really great setups, I'm not gonna lie. Probably not gonna look to trade today. Most likely not. UJ. Okay, this might have some slight potential, because we did take liquidity and we inverse here. This is a very double inverse. This is crazy. Double inversion, very double inversion. One, so this is liquidity rate, one confluence, and our second confluence. So technically we can look to trade off sell, and this is looking good already, like a fair swing. So this is probably the only pair I'm realistically looking to trade. God damn. Okay, and for our, again, balanced, really balanced here. So what are we targeting? Probably Asian low second here. Overall this area is probably in second, but generally Asian lows, we just take a 2 hour, whatever is taking us, and we're done with a day. But probably UJ ain't gonna wait and see, because UJ looks decent, right? Finally a pair that has inclined towards a certain direction in the market. Even if you see bullish price action, this is where my edge shines. This is where I see my edge come and work most often, is when we rate the external range liquidity, and we have that inversion on the 1 hour, and now we have a follow-up in Asia to just continue looking lower. The Asia looks good, no opposing PD array. See, this is how you should structure should look when you want to short. No opposing PDA. We don't see any gaps here. We don't see any gaps like how we see on Euro. Yeah, you know what I mean. So definitely huge is probably gonna be the only pair, and this is gonna be our trigger for looking for lower prices. Let me remove this red zone. So yeah, just equilibrium retracement, and now if we break this, we're straight up gonna take it with a simple stop loss like this, and we look to target the lows and we get like a 2.5. So this is probably gonna be the only idea. This is how your range should look like. Definitely Euro too weird, too little structure to confirm direction. Same with GU is a bit better, but again we have opposing structure. This is not how you want to trade. You don't want to see opposing structure on your trades. You want to see this being balanced how it is on UJ, right? You want to see this being balanced, because I mean you can still short like this, but it's gonna be a really small idea. Just think about it. Like it's not even worth to trade in this. And yeah, it's just too weird right now. And you can, it's too high up. It's too high up to try and buy off here. I feel like it's too high up, and it's also too much opposing structure to try and short. So it's really weird. I don't like this. So it might work from this and just start displacing higher, but it makes me uncomfortable. I cannot read properly here, and this is where I can read. So this is what we're gonna wait for. It still looks good for me. It's just stalling here, so already I'm gonna get ready to, this is a good trade for me. Again, not really opposing structure that we have, and we do have the supply, so it makes the trade really valid because we're in really extreme prices. So this is a valid supply for us to consider, or you can consider this gap whatever you want. And yeah, it just looks retractive, taking out external liquidity stacked from here and here. So very likely we're gonna retrace. What this edge does is signal a high quality retracement. That's basically it, and that's why we're gonna target this area, because this area is where the retracement might stop and we might continue bullish, but this is where the edge shines, high quality retracement. That's what it signals, and this is good structure here. We have, I mean, we do have kind of equal highs here, but I don't think it matters. We have this nice liquidity right here, displays lower, Asia just retraced, we tapped that 1 hour AVG, and now we're starting to break structure. We had that initial inversion right here, so it still looks good. We're just gonna take it on the inversion here. Stop loss relatively fine. Asian highs should stay protected in a case like this, and yeah, you're just looking to target lower. But the DAX trade was pretty nice yesterday, bro. Like, it was pretty clean. This was a really textbook model of mine. First entry, not great. Could have been greater, but still fine, right? Still fine. 2.2R I got onto it. And second entry was just a scaling I had on this 5-minute FVG and target lower. This was really clean. It's a good thing I didn't go break even, because a lot of people have break-evens on their systems. So AFK, I'm gonna go AFK. I'm gonna wait for the setup. AFK, only setup for today. Waiting for a break or waiting for entry. Is my OBS fine? It probably is. It is. So yeah, we're just waiting. At this point, UJ doesn't really have a lot of volatility most of the time in London, so we're gonna see. But the ain't a. I feel like what it's gonna do. I'm just gonna say purely my opinion, not a tradable idea. But what I feel like it's gonna do is probably gonna come here, react slightly, come and rebalance equilibrium prices, break lower, and start melting and drawing towards this. And from here we might see some bullish intent, or it can respect it. But for me, how Asian lows look here, I don't know. It is technically a valid idea, it's just that we have too much opposing structure, and yeah, it's too gambly to take. As a trader, you need to know when to sit on your hands, and for me, today is definitely a day where I would sit on my hands and not chase setups, right? Are trading prop firm or real account? Sorry, bro, I didn't see your comment. I'm trading prop firm. I'm trading prop firm, yeah, for now. Sorry, I didn't see your your comment. Not a lot of people comment on my streams, and I'm not used to answering and looking at the comments. So yeah, I'm trading prop firm. Let's see here. This inversion is gonna be our trigger for taking price lower. 2R straight off the bat, low resistance. No worries, and easy. 2R exactly what we need. Pardon me. So as a trader, you definitely need to know when to sit on your hands, right? I can try and explain when it's the most smart to sit on your hands, but I feel like it's a bit complicated. You just gotta sit on your hands where there's uncertainty in the market. So when there is a potential trend switch, right? So there is a very common case when I sit on my hands, and this is exactly what's happening with euro and the USD pairs right now. So when price is, let's say we do this, right? We're bullish, we come, we retrace, and then we have an intent higher, but we only have one move higher. This is very important. At this point, we don't know whether, we don't have enough confluence to think, are we buys or are we sells? This is, so when you gotta sit on your hands is when there is a potential trend switch. At this point, we need to wait for some more structure. That's why when you see a market structure shift, you need to wait for that second leg for you to have confluence to take towards this high. This is how you should trade, and how I trade at least. So, but this can happen at this point. Why we need to wait is because we don't know if this market structure shift is if this break of the high is a market structure shift or a rate on liquidity. So that's why we need to wait for some more structure. What is the confirming structure? Is either we get another gap higher and then we look to trade on that second leg, or we come back and inverse confirming that this is a liquidity rate, right? And then we continue to look slow. So that's why, I don't know if that makes sense, but I'm gonna put it simply. And that's exactly what's happening on euro right now, right? If we look at the 4 hour, we were bearish and now we got an intent higher, right? So what we need to do in a case like this, in this case, we don't know if this high is a market structure shift or a rate on liquidity. We don't have enough confluence to determine that. That's why we need to wait either for price to inverse, and that confirms that we're gonna go lower, or for price to respect and give some intent higher to confirm that we're actually being bullish. You get what I mean? It's exactly what I explained. When we have that initial market structure shift, we need to wait for some more structure. Either we continue breaking higher, which confirms that this is a market structure shift, or we inverse, which confirms that this was a rate on liquidity. I hope that makes sense. So let's see here, if we get this UJ, I don't really trade UJ, I don't think I traded like this very a lot of time. Yeah. So that, but this is low resistance, equal lows. This should be a nice trade if we start breaking lower, but yeah. It's probably gonna be a more chill day today. So we don't have a lot of pairs to monitor, we don't have much things to do. It's gonna be a relatively chill day. To be honest, I don't even want to stream because I just want to chill. It's good. It looks like it's slow, so I don't know. Generally, what work should I do today? Um, should probably edit the video, and that's pretty much it. So to be honest, I think I'm gonna go drink another coffee and just wait for the setup. The setup is gonna take a bit more time. Right now, I'm not really feeling very high energy, so I need another coffee to kind of get me into that space of high energy. And yeah, then we're still gonna wait for this. And yeah, it's pretty slow right now, so unless we see a proper break lower with a gap overlapping here, we're not gonna consider taking this shit. This is our only setup for today. So yeah. Euro again, as I explained before, we're in that state where we don't know whether this is a liquidity rate or a market structure shift. When this scenario happens in the market, we need to wait for some more structure. Even though we have this 4-hour gap, we need to wait. So what is gonna confluence be to confirm that this is a market structure shift? There's gonna be a 1-hour gap higher, and then we can take price towards this. I mean, and yeah, if we're bearish and if this is a liquidity rate instead of a market structure shift, we'll get this inversion, and then we can trade. So we need to wait to see what is price gonna do to the zone. Is it gonna form a 1-hour bullish gap from here, or is it gonna inverse? That's what we need to wait for. And this is the same with GU, this is the same with AU. So usually the USD pairs today. DAX again, it's hella weird. We had that really good trade yesterday, but I'm not gonna look to trade more than this. It's looking bullish. It's definitely looking bullish here. You trade out the bad bullish, but I don't think it's a valid trade. We have only, I mean, we do have liquidity rate and our 4-hour gap, but a 4-hour gap is not confirmed, and it is kind of 1-hour gap here, so it is potential for bullish, but weird. I don't like this. If I don't like how the day moves, I don't like the price action, I'm not gonna trade. As simple as that. Only price action I like is here. I really like this price action, so if we break lower, I'm gonna take that 2-hour and be done with a day. Like, we already had a really good trade yesterday, and I'm really fine with that, so I'm not gonna try and chase any setups. These are very important qualities for you to be profitable. You need to know when to sit on your hands, because previously when I was a beginner, I used to force setups like this, bro. Like, when the market is uncertain and you wouldn't know in what direction the markets go, I would just force setups because I want to trade and I want to make money. I wouldn't end up being in a loser trade because it's just too uncertain. It's too 50-50, this scenario right here. It's too 50-50. So I would start forcing trades, and because I wanted to make money, now I just want to, I don't know, make the best decision, if that makes sense. But this is really stalling. Let me see the economical calendar for today. I know we have some medium impact news, which is gonna be pretty nice. I like trading medium impact days, but we had 9, really. We had news. Okay, we have JPY. We had news. Okay, have some low impact, but yeah, it's gonna be probably a more chill day. We cannot expect to be a lot of delivery, but these are nice news to trade with. I would have liked to see a bit more news, but that's completely fine. Also, I want to check what next week is. Isn't next week NFP? This is not tradable. Like this London here is not tradable. Never trade this shit. It's just not tradable. It's too many news that it's not worth trading. You can trade New York, sure, but London here, you're just gonna get chopped too many times. You're gonna get chopped. I got chopped so many times trying to trade this as a beginner. Oh wait, never mind. We have really nice news here on on New York Monday. These are really nice news to trade in. Yeah, I think we have. Oh nah, bro, this is gonna be such a nice week. I remember this is probably the nicest week in terms of volatility and economical calendar, because we have enough news to drive volatility in the market, but we don't have too much to like make it too volatile for us to not trade, and we do not have too little, so we lack volatility. This is just perfect. We have unemployment claims. These are really like to trade unemployment claims. Yeah, next week is gonna be a really good weekend. Probably next is gonna be NFP, no? Or am I tripping? Yeah, NFP. and then it's gonna be CPI, and it just keeps repeating. So next week is gonna be really good for us to trade within. But yeah, this is the only setup, simple setup, really nice here. Again, I trade, and I recommend you to trade higher time frame. If you're watching this video, if you don't trade higher time frame, bro, trade higher time frame. Like when I started trading higher time frame, that's when I started seeing some way different results. Like now everything comes from the higher time frame. If the higher time frame doesn't present anything or a valid reason for me to take a trade, I don't trade. Right, I don't trade 4 hour and 1 hour. That's what I use. And my higher time frame strategy is really simple. All I look for are two confluences in a direction I want to take. So in this case, what are confluences? First is buy sell liquidity rate. I don't really consider these confluences, but this is also valid. We have buy sell liquidity rate and supply. So this, what this indicate, our idea tends to get validated, but on the 1 hour is actually the place I have those two confluences, which is first is this inversion here, inversed and respected, and then second confluence is this gap right here. So now I have two confluences in my favor, which what does this indicate? A probability of trading in that way. So this validates my idea. I need higher time frame to validate my direction. And also we cannot really have opposing opposing structure, opposing confluences, because on here, let's go on euro and take another example. What confluences do we have here to take buys? We have one, this is one, and this is second, two FVGs. But look at the opposing part of the idea. 1, 2, right? So it's 2 versus 2. This is not, this basically means 50-50. On UJ, we have 2 versus 0. We don't have bullish confluences here rather than trend. So yeah, we look like we're breaking, but I do really want to see some volatility here. Two confluences is it allows you for versatility. That's why it's such a good strategy, because it doesn't tell you need to wait for a liquidity rate and a gap, and it's just that's the only scenario you wait for. You can look for an inverse, you can look for an order block, you can have all these things that actually vary and allow you a bit of versatility when taking trades. And this is what I like versatility. This is one of my key points. I have a lot of intraday setups. I have a lot of scenarios I can trade in. Basically, it's looking like it's breaking lower. This is initial pretty good start of the move. We're gonna have like a 9.6 pip stop loss if, bro, oh shit. Let me see, 7.5 loss. This is looking good, bro. I'm sure I'm gonna take this if we break below that inverse. Yeah, this inverse is gonna be my trigger of taking lower prices. We already had this range, you already tapped that. Asian high should stay protected here because it rebalanced this area. Now we had a retracement towards equilibrium prices here, and now if we break lower, but does that mean our confluence of going lower, we form that lower high, gets confirmed, which means we're switching trend bearish towards reaching towards the slow. Hope that makes sense. But if this gets rejected, our idea gets invalidated. Simple. Yeah, I feel there's so many things you gotta learn as a trader, bro. Like, it's kind of crazy. At this point, my execution has been really constant, but my equity curve took a massive toll. I think it was a bad period for my strategy. Right? It was a really bad period for my strategy. Let me pull up my funded next equity curve, because I'm not here to hide my results or hide what I'm going through. I'm here to just be as transparent as possible, because I'm documenting my journey. At the end of the day, I don't need to fake my results. I don't need to fake this shit. So it's been 10 months of break even, if you can call it that, but we took a massive toll here, massive losing streak here. But this was constant execution. There was just one mistake that would have made a difference here, which was not taking partials. If I would have taken partial, we'd probably been around here, which is a bit above break even, but that's completely fine. We managed to get this win, and this win actually matters a lot, because we were at minus 7.5% yesterday. We took a 3% win, and now being at this gives way more comfort physically, mentally. I mean, gives way more comfort mentally. So now we're gonna be really fine, and I actually believe I'm gonna recover this, because I think I am ready. I'm doing everything I'm supposed to do. One mistake I was making, that's the only mistake, which is taking partials. And you see, this is exactly like stats here tell break even. 33% win rate with a 1.2 R is break even. As simple as that. But it's gonna be fine. I do believe in myself. With the help of God, I think it's gonna be possible for me to actually recover this. So yeah, it's been a long time, but what matters is not that I didn't make any money or so on. What matters is what I learned throughout this period, because there's been a lot of growth that I wouldn't get in now that I grew in this 10-month period of break even more than I did in the last previous 2 years of trying to trade, way more. And this was just refinement, to be honest. Like break even is just refinement and refining your approach. And yeah, it's gonna be great. I'm positive. I think it's gonna be great because this is, yeah, look at the trades yesterday. These are usually how my trades look if the market's moving decent, right? If the market's moving decent, this are how my trades looking. We got a 2R on the main position and we got a 2.8 on the second position. I can show you MetaTrader and don't give a fuck. I'm here to be transparent. See, I don't know if you can see this because it's pretty small. It's, how can I do this? Can I do it on Funded Next? Because I'm not here to hide, bro. I'm here to show you. See, these are the trades right here that we took yesterday. I didn't stream it, but it's gonna be uploaded. If you actually want to see the thought process and you feel like it's useful, you can check it. And yeah, this were the trades we took. First entry we took around here on this 1 minute gap, let it run towards here, scaling around this gap here, let it took a trim here, and then let it run towards lower. And yeah, that was pretty much it. We made 1.2k on the first, 150 on the second, and 250 on the third. So in total, around 3%. This was really great. And there's one thing I want to talk about when it comes to your partial system in here, because where's DAX? Many people actually have this partial system, which is at 1R, right? You take partials and you go break even, right? But look what would have happened if I went break even here. Would have gotten fucking tapped in break even, price melts in my favor. Like, that's the last thing you want to do. That's why even for my partial system, I have a bit of room for versatility. And what I did here is I didn't see any strong momentum higher. Therefore I had no reason to do anything. I just trusted the trade and let it flow. And because I did that, I ended up hitting a 2R on the main position and 3R on the scaling. So that's why you break even is an important decision to take, and you don't want to do it too early. Not too early. Drink some water. But this is not looking like it has volatility to break. Like, there's so many things you gotta keep constant as a trader. That's why it's so hard. You gotta keep your mindset. You gotta keep your mindset constant is the most important part, because if your mindset is not good, everything's gonna fall. Your edge is gonna fall, your execution is gonna fall, your improvement is gonna fall, everything's gonna fall. Second is your execution. Is really important for your execution to be constant within whatever your strategy is. I trade kind of hybrid. I trade with intuition and rules. I have kind of mix between rules and intuition. This gives me the most potential. This gives me the best results trying to use my intuition in my trading. And if you're a beginner, don't even consider about using intuition. You're gonna use it in time. So third is gonna be, first mindset, second execution, third trade management. Is really important for trade management to be relatively consistent. And four is going to be improvement in journaling and backtesting and so on. So these things are got to keep being kept constant, and the decisions you make are really important to keep constant, but it's really hard to do and keep constant. So that's why trading is hard. But right now I'm just flowing, bro. I really love my hard time free strategy. I'm not gonna lie. I really like my hard time free strategy because it's so nice, bro. It aligns. So hard time free strategy. So I have 4 hour, 1 hour validating my 50-minute, which is my intraday profile, and 50-minute, then we have validating my entry pattern, which is 5 minutes. So everything, they all have to be pointing at the same direction for me to take a trade, which is the same we're doing here. And to be honest, just use higher time frame, bro. I swear to God, my biggest regret is not using higher time frame earlier. When I was a beginner, I used to think, oh nah, why would I need higher time frame? Like I'm trading 3 minute, 5 minute. Why would I need higher time frame? Like bruh, bruh. Like higher time frame is responsible for the biggest part of your win rate. Higher time frame gives you like 30% win rate straight up. Like straight up, your model probably gives another 20% of your profile, whatever it is, and your entry give like 10 to 20. So the biggest part is higher time frame. It's the most important. Let's see if it breaks. But for now, it's looking garbage. It looks like it doesn't have volatility to break. Euro again weird. We don't want to trade Euro. We don't want to trade U. We don't want to trade the U. We don't want to trade DAX. This can be a demo trade. I might be down to just try it on a demo. And I recommend you, if you don't use demos, just use demos to try out stuff. Don't gamble. Don't experiment on your account. Experiment on demo, because this is what I do. This is what I do. Oh shit, we have 5k 5k stop loss. Experiment on demo. It's fun. It keeps you like, I don't know, it keeps you on the charts. It's fun. Oh yeah, we also had this relative valid UK trade, but the idea is just going lower towards this, which is kind of small. So even if we get a gap, the idea is we're gonna be extremely small, 1.5. We don't want to trade this shit. But this is gonna be better. This is a 2R, strict 2R, and that's it. Let me check some real quick. Oh yeah, this is a nice case. That's why I mean my strategy is high quality. It's just high time frame, bro. Like this again, buy sell liquidity rated inversion. I mean this, I don't know what the trade was here, but this was backtesting trades. All of them I caught. Again, buy sell liquidity rate inversion, retest of the inversion, take entries targeting what? Previous daily low or overall higher time frame draw. Then again we start breaking lower. What did we have? 1 hour gap, liquidity rate, inversion here. If you actually see inversion entry, where do we target? Previous daily low. Previous daily low. This is DXY, by the way. If you want to check it, we also have date here if you want to check. But yeah, I recommend you to trade inversions. Inversions are cheat code. They are a cheat code. I see DAX. Is it okay? It's gonna work. Just simple target here, but it is valid technically because we have one confluence. This is a low getting taken, 4 hour AVG with a 1 hour gap. So we have the two confluences. I just don't like how it looks. So this is where I use my intuition to decide on whether to skip a trade or not. But I don't like how it looks. It's nice liquidity rate here. It's pretty decent. And the inversion again. Inversion. Look at my entries. Inversion. Close above. Entry. Target. Low resistance liquidity. This is a really simple scalp. Might have been valid, but I just prefer on taking better trades, to be honest, than this. I don't like how it looks because it didn't have a retrace. I would have preferred to see a retrace into equilibrium prices, then see that inversion and then look at the trade. But like this, I don't like. Okay, UJ is breaking. This is a good break. If we manage to form a proper gap around this lows, I'm actually down to take this shit. Let me open MetaTrader to see. Okay, this is looking good. Let's see. If we close like this and straight up taking it on this inversion. Do I even have UJ? I think I do have. Let me. How much lot size do I need? 7.5. Okay, but it needs to close. I would like to see this 5 minute gap, but we don't need that. We don't need that shit. We need this 3 minute candle to close. I would like to see close, not a wick like this, but would like to see close better, a bit better. We need 7.5 lots. Sadly on MetaTrader 4 there is no 3 minute, which is kind of annoying because I have to guide myself on 5 minute and 1 minute when I'm taking these entries, and it's kind of annoying. So it's probably 145.3. Oh yeah, it's 145.317. It's the same. 145.317. Stop loss probably gonna be around the high 145.414. They probably gonna be 145.122. But still, we gotta wait on that 3 minute candle close. And I want to see close healthier. Like I would want to see close healthier. Stop loss of this should be protected. A lot of consolidation here to protect our stop loss. So yeah, should be fine. And I really like this order block that we have here. How buyers got rejected of this FVG and then price melted lower. Just a bit of weird price action, but yeah, that's fine. It should be a real decent trade, really easy delivery towards the lows. Really pivotal price point, so very likely it's gonna retest it. And yeah, it's just gonna be a simple 2R. That's it. Simple 2R, we're done for the day. 20 seconds, we gotta wait for this to close. It just looks a bit weird, that's why it kind of makes me uncomfortable, but I don't think it invalidates the trade idea at all. If it is what it is. If we lose, we lose, but I still think the trade is worth taking. It's valid for me to take. The entry is good, except that the fact that we consolidated. That's basically the only red flag about this trade. And as soon as we close this candle, I'm gonna take the entry. Let's see. Yeah, that's good. Oh, already tapped in. Sheesh. I'm curious if this is a good trade or is a stupid trade. Cause yeah, let's see. Cause he might reject. Maybe we should have waited for that 5 minute candle to close. Maybe it's too early, but it's fine. Even if we take a loss, I'm gonna stand on business. I don't really care. Should be still easy on drone lower though. Let's see. Again, what I recommend you to do if you're a trader, if you trade on MetaTrader 4 on PC or whatever, hide your profits, bro. Press F11. It's just way better for your psyche, for your mental, to not see profits. It helps way more. Let's see. Yeah, we have 2R. It's just a very simple trade. That's it. And we have this nice order block here on the 1 minute that we're looking like we're respecting. Just the 3 minute doesn't look great. I would have probably liked to see a bigger candle, but we still have this here, so I still think we're fine. But we're gonna see. Keep it up. Appreciate the work. God bless you. God bless you too, man. Thank you for being here. Thank you for being here. I really appreciate you. So let's see what we do, baby. Why I feel like it's gonna be a garbage trade. We'll see. We'll see, because it's just huge price action. But we'll see. We do have this order block here. It's very unconventional, very not classic, not classic entry pattern, to be honest, because of this consolidation, which makes it a bit weird. Which might have been just a sell side rate here, but again, it still validates our entry. It's just that this is not generally a complete close. Generally, I feel like we need to see one more candle, but that's still fine. I think so. Hide your profits, bro, because many times in my trading journey, when I would see profits like this, I would look at this and then get emotional, and then seeing this profit would trigger some emotions in me. And yeah, it's just better not to look at it, because it don't matter at the end of the day. How you make money in trading is by not caring about money. That's one thing that I have. So yeah, it should be fine, especially if we come back and inverse this 1 minute FVG here. But yeah, this should be a really fine trade to be honest. It should be really easy, even though it looks kind of unconventional. It looks weird. It should be fine. And that's a good respection on the 3 minute we're getting. And also one thing I want you to keep in mind is that sometimes the price from TradingView with the price from MetaTrader differs, right? It's different. So let's say it might show here, it might show the price 5, but on MetaTrader it might show the price 4. So always be careful at that and always pay attention to that. Yeah, this is a good reaction we're getting. As I said, this should be a really easy trade towards that 2R. But if it, I want to see continue, obviously. I don't want to see it reject. I want to see continue. The intent we had is good. I just want to see keep it up, and I want to see initiation out of this range. I want to see initiation below this low here. But I think it's gonna be fine. Again, I believe in the trade. It's valid. It's my strategy that I'm confident in. So TP simple 2R, really simple trade. Kind of weird, weird variation of Asian rate, because this is basically an Asian rate setup but with no rate. And the reason for the no rate is because we already mitigated the POI, which is usually when Asian high stays strong. The only thing I'm kind of skeptical about is that we're trading UJ. UJ is a Asia and New York pair. That's it, but I guess it's still gonna be fine. This candles here, this is a really good inspection we're getting here, especially if we start initiating lower below this lows. That would make me really confident in this trade, because this is also an FVG we're kind of struggling to break a bit. So just to keep that in mind, right? Our entry maybe could have been a bit better on this instead of the inversion, but still I think it's fine. And we also inversed here on the 1 minute. I am in the trade, bro. You copied my trade. Okay, let's see. I mean, this is not the greatest trade, I will say that, but yeah. I don't recommend you to copy anyone's trade, bro. To be honest. Because this is not a great rejection, but yeah, we have this pretty big FVG here, which is not great. Again, bro, don't copy anyone's trades. That's just like what I recommend. Is this area is pretty dangerous. I don't like this. But if we break below it, that's what matters. Because here we already rejected that failure lower, that break lower, which is generally not a good sign. It's generally a losing pattern, so we'll see. We're still waiting, but it's generally not a good sign whatsoever. But yeah, still trusting the trade idea that we have. Because now I want to, again, what would make me really confident in this trade is just seeing price break below this zone, this AVG. Because triple bottom is a pretty strong low. So we'll see. If we initiate, that's all I want to see to be confident. All I want to see to be confident in this trade is initiating below this lows. I mean, forming a gap, seeing some displacement. Because we did inverse on the 1 minute, which the signs are not that great to see. First we failed to break lower and we formed a higher low, and now we inverse back above. But it still doesn't invalidate the trade. It's just not a great sign to see necessarily. I think this will protect again our position, but it's still up to price. This is not good, bro. I don't like this at all. I don't like this at all. I might trim actually. So I might just close my trade early. Bruh. Come on, man. I don't like this. Then we should have break lower here. We shouldn't have rejected. And now, yeah, it's pretty much doomed, but we're still gonna wait. I don't trust this trade that much. Let's see. or like 0.5, but I'm still gonna let it slightly breathe. I want to see, my model tells me to see a 3-minute gap before closing. Depending on how we behave here. Because again, we're in that 5-minute, we might have just remitigated the consolidation and then continue lower if we break lower. Yeah, it's just weird price action. It makes me really uncomfortable. Yeah, it's not great. I'm gonna see how we behave to this. If we respect this, I'm straight out closing, because I don't like this rejection here. Should have continued lower straight up. We respected this 3-minute instead. Fuck. Yeah, this is not good, bro. I'm gonna wait a bit more before closing. Ah, fuck me, this is garbage. Or, nah, this is garbage. I'm just waiting to see maybe we get that retracement. Yeah, it's over. Bro, this is the garbage trade. What the this, bro? Don't copy my trade, bro. At least copy a good trade, not this one, bro. Like, it should have not rejected of this. Straight up the bat. Yeah, this is probably gonna be it for today. We took a very unnecessary loss, but this trade is really dog shit. I don't know what I'm trading UJ, to be honest. Yeah. Really free loss in a couple of minutes, so this is probably gonna be it for today. At least I managed to trim the loser short, but yeah, this is still a garbage trade. I mean, not necessarily a garbage trade, it's just shitty price action around these highs. And it should have broken here, it shouldn't have not rejected. As soon as I saw that rejection, yeah, I should have closed instantly. So yeah, I'm sorry, bro. Please don't copy my trades, okay? Don't copy my trades. Even if my trades went, don't copy my trades. Don't never copy anyone's trades. And yeah, I'm gonna see you next time.